Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing a product overview of the Z31 front tie rods. Alright, to start off, we're going to go through what's included. What's included is going to be a set of the tie rod with the turnbuckles, a adjustable set of hardware if you opted for the adjustable hardware, or the low profile set of hardware if you opted for the low profile hardware. The adjustable hardware is great if you're going to be running a larger than a 15-inch wheel because it has bump steer adjustments. It has these little shims as well as spacers for bump steer adjustment. The low profile one is great if you're running 15-inch or smaller wheels. You do lose the bump steer adjustment, but they do still allow you to have adjustable tie rods with clearance for a 15-inch wheel. That's going to be concluding what's included in the tie rod. Next, we're going to go through our construction. Our steel turnbuckles, they're steel for a reason because they don't strip out like aluminum ones, and they have a hex design to make adjusting them a lot easier, especially with a wrench or anything that you're going to have your alignment shop do. The studs themselves are going to be hardened alloy steel. Now these are zinc coated to prevent rust corrosion, and they're a very robust design. Next, we're going to be going through our QC process. Our QC process for the tie rods is relatively straightforward. We have a packing list accuracy, which makes sure that we have the correct turnbuckles, the size, and the correct heim joints attached to them, making sure we select the correct tie rod studs as well for the order. Next, we have the hardware sheets. For these tie rods, we don't have a hardware sheet option for it, so we can go ahead and skip that. Next, we're going to be going through our cosmetic threshold. On the cosmetic threshold, we want to make sure there's no dings, dents, or scratches on any of the machine surfaces. Now, we do have an option to get these powder coated, and the same option applies. We want to make sure there's no scratches or dents in the powder coating. Once they pass the cosmetic threshold, we check the hole tolerances. Now, these don't really have any holes inside of them, such as versus a rear subframe or a control arm, so we can go ahead and skip to the next step. The biggest thing that we want to ensure is that the stud actually fits the bore of the rod ends as well. The next is going to be threads. So these have a set of threads both on the inside and outside. We want to make sure that they are very clean of debris and they slide freely by hand. We want to make sure that there's no sandblasting media that was trapped in there during the sandblast process. If there was, we always blow it out and make sure we tighten these by hand. We also have threads on the opposite ends, which we have a inner tie rod that we check it with to make sure the same application is provided. So something interesting that we did do with the tie rods is that the inner tie rod and the outer tie rods are a separate thread. So you turn the adjuster one way, it expands the part. If you turn it the other way, it'll contract the part to make alignments a lot easier and your alignment shop very happy. The next part of the QC process is to make sure it's fitment with the factory tie rods, so factory steering knuckles. So you want to make sure that our steering knuckles have a nice tight engagement. These do not require any modification to the steering knuckle. You don't have to drill them out or anything. You don't have to modify the steering knuckle at all. You can just simply just attach the stud to the steering knuckle itself. And finally, we're going to go over the base settings for the tie rods. Now, when coming from our shop, we're going to thread these all the way in, just to reduce any damage to the threads during the shipping process. But for the base setting for the tie rods, we do recommend that you open up the tie rod adjuster to leave about 1/4 inch of exposed thread past the jam nut. This will get you a rough base setting to take it to alignment shop, and the alignment shop will fine tune them as needed. And finally, we're going to be going through color options. Now, these are our standard zinc finish. It's a very good shiny finish, and it's a very durable finish, especially if you're going to be wrenching on a lot. We do offer a ton of other colors. If you're interested in seeing that, you can check out the video here that goes over the color choice, as well as thorough installation instructions. You can check out that video over here. If you have any questions or concerns before ordering, always give us a call or shoot us an email. Thanks.